Hey everyone, Rather Incoherent, back here with more Rome Total War Remastered gameplay. We're continuing the Julii campaign. We have two big sieges left to do this turn. We have Campus Getae to wipe out Thrace, and probably the last mission we ever do before we overthrow the Republic, take Halicarnassus, which is hilariously one of the more well-defended cities we've ever attacked. Unlike Campus Getae, which is only well-defended insofar as it is literally filled with faction members. So let's hit the assault button and see what they really have going on. Their only infantry are skirmishers, so that's really good for us. But as I've seen in the past, these mercenary hoplites really don't do great against family members. Neither of us get any real advantage from fighting a night battle. And these are the original Roman archers that you start the game with. And the faction leader has just carried them across the world map at this point. So, let's get started. Alright, I've just split my army into two pieces so that I can safely attack both gates. And let's see where their missile units are. One is anchored to the town square, which is fantastic. I was worried that would be a family member. The other one is here? And it looks like it's going to try to move up and push me off the gate. Let's make sure they can't do that by moving my own archers to stop them. Just going to grab all of these units and move them up a little bit so that it's easier to get in the town square eventually. Or through the gate, rather. And same thing with these units. And yes, the only ranged unit that's going to be defending the town is these peltasts right here, which my archers should be able to deal with absolutely no problem. It looks like they're willing to take the damage to try to deal damage to my Astade, but that's fine.
The enemy gate is down.
At this point, I'm going to have my archers stop firing at will. I'm going to have these equites just charge in. I'm going to have these get out of the way. In previous fights, we have seen that you can just charge cavalry through the gate into a unit of skirmishers, and they will consistently and quickly win. And I want everyone else getting relatively close to the gates. Now, all of their generals are just swarming around in this one spot.
The walls are taken. The enemy gate is down. Our battering ram is done its work.
Now we just need to make sure we run down this whole unit. We can't afford to leave survivors. There are 3 generals in this town. We need to make this as easy as possible. Okay. Completely wiped out. Let's see what the AI does for its next move. And the answer is stark nothing. So, first let's move all of this infantry in and see if that changes the AI's opinions. Because right now what I'm looking at is just moving my archers here, which I think they barely have range on the generals, and drawing them out. I'm just grossly overestimating their range, but it's actually fine, because as I was looking at the battle map, I can set up in this plaza to pull everyone out, and I can leave a unit of equites here to come out and actually kill the peltasts in the square. So I'll be back with you once I've set that up. Okay, so after minor setbacks involving them activating and moving all over the place in very erratic, unpredictable ways where they completely abandon the square, I now know that taking this plaza and this city map actually pulls the AI from the square. So, we're going to have to actually run in here, like, ready to set up our position. And our position is going to be as follows. This basic part is that we're going to have spearmen and phalanx formation right here. We're going to have principes ready to throw spears here. Now that Stadi are actually performing their real job they would have in the Roman... Why are these guys not showing up? There we go. That Stadi are going to be performing much as they would in a real Roman army. They are our front lines. And also, because the charge of cavalry tends to kill phalanxes, I'm going to have my Stadi take the initial charge instead of the phalanx. The archers were originally just here to bait the attackers into coming this way, but that turns out to be entirely unnecessary. I'm not sure they'll actually be helpful at all. I'm going to have my general here, primarily just to provide moral support. It looks like I'm having a really hard time lining him up. Okay, I can do this, and he'll be close enough by. And this should all be able to get in position before they actually get to me. Now, I want this cavalry to be able to charge them in the back eventually, and I want the Bastarnae to do the same. But moving up either of these is very likely to draw attention from the AI, so I'm going to wait for them to start moving before I do anything with these 2 units.
And also, everything needs to be on fire at will, which it is.
Once my hoplites are in position, they can drop their phalanxes, but until then... I should be saying drop their spears, or get into phalanx formation, not drop their phalanxes. Drop their phalanx, if anything, would mean getting out of formation, wouldn't it? Yeah, and we can see that there's starting to be movement. They haven't actually done anything yet, they're just repositioning, but once everyone gets here, I'm pretty sure they're going to come after me again. Going to drop these into phalanx formation. Still saying the same stupid wrong thing, aren't I? Yeah, they're bringing everything skirmishers first. Tell my archers to stop wandering around and actually shoot their weapons. Shoot their bows, Jesus. Okay, wow, I need to fix these formations because everyone's just doing crazy shit that is not what I want them to do. Come on, guys. Get into something resembling formation, not these crazy columns that don't make any sense. Fucking everyone change places. Oh, Jesus. The point is that my Hastati will take the charge. They're my most expendable troops. I need the phalanxes intact to deal with 3 generals' cavalry. My Bastarni at this point should be running forward. And I'm not actually sure what the hell the AI is doing. Or this pathfinding. They are very convinced they need to be shaped like this. Are they coming from my equites? If they are, that's fucking great for me. It means I'll eventually be able to take the middle square. I tell these to cease fire. Same with my Principes, if they have anything left. In fact, they've never even been thrown, really. Move these equites in to see if I can get their attention back. This is not going to go well for these Hastati. They're going to be fighting 3 fucking generals' cavalry. Okay. So this Equites job is really just to distract by having the square. Unsurprisingly, the tide is starting to turn. I'm going to try to actually retreat these units of Hastati now that I've made sure there's no charge. These Principes need to get in fucking formation, though. That actually went shockingly well. I've never had a controlled retreat this effective. Okay, so they're going straight for the Principes. All of this needs to engage, and these need to move forward. And the Bastarni are probably good to charge into the rear at this point. And you can fire into this fucking packed mass of cavalry. I'm fine with that. Going to move this back into the fight, actually. Going to move this up. Going to reposition this facing into the cavalry. And the cavalry feel good about this, but I don't know why that is the case. I'm going to have the Equites charge here, make this Pautas die. Oh, what's going on here? My general should not be a part of this. I did not mean to select him. My general being a part of this is pretty much the only way it actually fails. Yeah, they're all pulling back at this point. Bastarni are holding their own. This needs to drop phalanx formation and actually go in there with weapons. If this chain routes, I think we might win. No, they don't have... They still have something in the square, so it's not going to work. But on the other hand, we do have massive numbers advantage. Please stop shooting your bow. You're probably hitting more of our men at this point. And, yeah, there's what? 7% of them left? Triple speed. My general's not involved. This is completely safe. Okay. And this day is clearly our victory. Only losing 200 versus that many generals in a city feels great to me. So that is the end of Thrace. Settlement conquered and immediately enslaved. Whoops. I have another merchant. He's currently getting this, which is basically worthless. Which is my experience generally with merchants to begin with. He can do much better. There's gold over here. Now last turn I did sort of forget about all the Principes here. I suppose I am trying to retrain them here eventually. And actually, I can upgrade both of these and produce a real legion here eventually, so I'm going to. Now the question is, what do I do with these sort of sundered armies? I've got an absolute massive number of cavalry. I don't have the infantry to support it in a full stack. In 5 turns, I can have all my Principes get retrained over here in Por Elysium. So I'm definitely going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to wait for all of this to get replenished. And then I'm going to put them on a boat and sail them across the Black Sea, probably to Armenia's capital. Speaking of putting them on a boat, this is the boat I'll need, but if it's 3 turns to retrain here and then 2 more turns to walk back, I can keep blockading this for a while. So, the other big siege to wrap up the turn, let's take Halicarnassus. All their units are at full strength. They have 2 real phalanxes, 2 fake phalanxes, because militia hoplites might form a phalanx, but their morale is absolutely terrible. The real problem is they have extremely high quality ranged units, and I can't do anything about that unless they throw them away by trying to defend the walls with them. So, let's see how this goes. This is going to be a little bit messy. Okay, so the plan this time is pretty straightforward. Since I don't really have ranged units in this army, I'm using loose formation on my Hastati to take the walls. And then, because my enemy does have ranged units, as soon as the walls are down, I will be charging whichever gap is undefended with my Equites to take them out. Now looking at this, they have so many phalanxes at the front that I actually don't know I can safely deal with this. And in fact, they've burned down the only ram that was next to this Peltast. So, let's back off with all of this. We're probably going to need to knock a 3rd hole in the wall at some point.
Roman military engineering triumphs once more.
Now this ram I actually do not want to drop. I want to go down and knock down another piece of wall. This actively shooting the ram itself? I didn't even realize you could specifically target the ram.
Our soldiers are at the walls.
Okay. They seem to not really be defending this one properly. So this is where we're going to be getting in the walls.
Show no mercy. The enemy walls are down. Make sure their soldiers are
get in there.
The ruins.
This is my one real chance to get into the city, and I gotta take it. They have just not responded correctly to this threat. And I have no interest in fighting. I'm just getting as many cavalry inside the gates as I can. Questionable pathfinding, I guess. And I don't think I can get a 3rd unit of Equites in. Yeah, they would definitely get caught. But that's fine. I'm going to do is have all of these run this way. Not all of them. I'm going to leave at least 1 behind. This unit of Equites is coming to the main gate. They've left their Cretan archers undefended. I'm going to quickly take this gate.
Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
Start moving 2 of these down to eventually go through that gate on the opposite side. These should quickly kill the Cretan archers. This should just be a fucking massacre. What on earth? I'm sorry, excuse me? What are the stats on a Cretan archer? You need to inform me of this game. Melee 7, defense 5, charge 3, like, that's not... Yeah, like, the attack is alright, but that's not a good melee unit. Why on earth did they rout? Alright, fuck that unit of Equites then. I didn't want it anyway. Oh. Okay. Have these Equites move to here. These Equites on this side. These get ready to come through this main gate. And these Equites are actually going to come down here and open this gate for these two to come in. And rather than charge to the gate, I'm going to charge from both sides in the corners at these archers this time around. And I assume it will go better. I say this, there's actually a phalanx here, and I don't have enough city control to deal with it right now. I'm going to take 3 units of Hastati and move them here. In tight formation. Oh shit. I just was not paying attention. I need to play this a lot less sloppily. It also really sucks to see, like, the routing pathfinding for your units just, like, randomly run in one direction and then smash into their units. I've seen this so many times now. They're gonna do the same thing. As soon as they're, like, 10 feet away, they're gonna turn around and run back in and all die. This unit's just completely wiped out. Those are the Rhodian Slingers. I'm gonna send my Equites in at them. Oh no! They're still running back and forth directly into a phalanx. Who would have thought this retreat tactic wouldn't be effective? Right, this can't possibly be another loss, right? Like, it's a cavalry flank versus archers. I've seen Cretan archers do this thing before where they beat my Equites. I just don't understand why it's happening. And like, yeah, they're just wavering and holding the line. They haven't actually lost yet. It's absurd. Whereas the Rhodian Slingers down here are doing what exactly? Getting a pretty big advantage from the terrible pathfinding. What the fuck is this? Imagine the phalanx is almost here. You guys are going to need to leave. We actually managed to handle that unit eventually. And I imagine the same is true of those Rhodian Slingers, and once we get their ranged units dealt with, we can actually start moving in all of these Hastati. Which has been the big handicap so far, is moving up Hastati would result in having my units just pelted ceaselessly by Slingers and Rhodian... Not Slingers and Rhodian archers, Rhodian Slingers and Cretan archers. Who's being attacked? These guys? Get in the city. Now, 2 of these split off and go to this hole in the wall. These 4 get ready to go in where they're at. And it looks like the pathfinding here is so fucking terrible that they just gave up on actually being inside the city and didn't bother pursuing the Rhodians. So, that's unfortunate. They still have 72 Rhodian Slingers. These Peltas don't really seem to know what they're doing. And these Hoplites are going that direction. So, let's get my infantry in here. This is the Cretan archers, and they've decided they've seen enough horses in their time, and they're out of here. The fact that any horses are dying in this is downright embarrassing. It's weird how incredible mercenary range units seem, and how absolute trash mercenary infantry feels. I want all of my Hastati set to fire at will. If anything gets near them, I want it just absolutely destroyed by javelins. One group of Equites here, the other one on this alley. Whichever one gets charged by the phalanx is going to pull back while it gets circled around and killed by the other one. Okay. It looks like they're trying to get out of here, so I'm going to execute this charge now. And this phalanx is sort of just hanging out and also really not in phalanx formation at all. So I'm going to have both of these Equites units try to charge them and get this to rout. Because this is well and thoroughly broken pathfinding. This is the sort of thing I get mad about when it's happening to me. They shouldn't be able to drop into phalanx formation with, you know, not even having a forward direction to face. I really enjoyed these horses that died with, like... Alright, my general needs to leave. Oh, god damn it. Did he die or not? I'm unclear. Okay, it played the cutscene, but he didn't die. That's fantastic. So even though they were in nothing even vaguely resembling a formation, they still managed to win the fight. And when I charged these, the Equites routed? Was it both units? Yeah, it was. I wonder if Equites are actually just secretly trash units and they're only good when they're hitting units directly in the back. It's starting to look that way, right? I mean, they're still really good when they're doing that. And I have all of these charge and melee. Gonna have the Cretan archers get attacked by my general, who will hopefully live. Oh, this has been the worst my cavalry has ever done in a fight. And this really should not be a problem for us. Massive damage from the javelins. I'm actually going to cancel fire at will. And they should all just die trying to run through the formation. So, does my general die fighting Cretan archers? No, they routed. Good. What is this? Equites. Oh, they stopped routing. Nice. Actually, I want them to go this way. They can presumably intercept these fleeing peltasts and kill them all. It looks like that's actually going to work according to plan. Gonna have all of you line up here. Alright. This has been... Sloppy doesn't begin to do it justice. This has been a nightmare. There are any peltasts left alive? There are 4. I'm gonna take this gate. No, just take it. Alright. All these broken, exhausted unit of Equites, I just want to get outside of this city. I want to use these 2 fresh units of Equites for any purposes I have left in the battle. Which I actually think there isn't any. I do, however, need my general in the battle just for morale. So looking at this, I think my best bet is to set up in this plaza, use 1 unit of Hastati to throw javelins and bait them into fight me. And then hit them in the back with these fresh Equites over here. So, I'll be back with you once I've set this up. Okay, my plan is ready. Let's go see if this actually works. I am just moving up my Hastati to draw their attention with javelins. I'm going to try to run backwards into this plaza filled with my entire infantry army, which I believe should actually pull everything they have. It looks like for the first one, I'm just going to be getting 1 because this is actually not able to reach the city square. But that's fine. I actually want to pause this and not fire at will on this one. I want to fire at will on the second engagement. And this should be a pretty brutal encirclement and murdering. And in case guard mode affects it, I'm going to take them off of guard mode to see if they'll be more aggressive in surrounding. But yeah, this phalanx is just dead. Might get a decent number of kills before then, but I mean, these units have high defense and they're not actually pushing into it, so it should not do much as it gets devoured from behind by 3 units of Hastati.
The gods have filled the heart of the enemy general with
okay.
Fear. Now
So,
he flees the field like
immediately just redrop all of these Hastati right back where they were. Now that I'm in range, I should be throwing javelins and getting kills. Evidently not. Guys. You're hurting me. Why are you doing this? This battle has been a disaster in terms of management. I can imagine winning this battle with half the wounds I've taken in half the time. It's so frustrating how badly I played this. Or maybe just how badly it's went. I don't know how well I've actually played this. Just that nothing has went even slightly according to plan. Everyone back to fire at will. Going to move this unit even further up than I did last time, because apparently it wasn't quite in range. And this time, we're going to do it for real, I promise. We're actually going to lure them out, rout them, and win the fight. God, I hope, at least. This has gone on for too long. Stop, just throw. Just throw, you're there. You're in range. What are you doing? Okay, they were just repositioning to throw better, I guess. Well, we didn't seem to throw our full volley, so maybe that's why they didn't get pulled. There we go. Now we're getting movement. We only pulled one of them. So we'll be doing this again. Oh dear lord, it's not going to work, is it? Okay. So, maybe I'm just going to be emptying my javelins one at a time like this. Like, I would love to bait them out, but it doesn't look like it works. Okay. Yeah, it's time to throw javelins one at a time, I guess. So after all of that, I've managed to kill about... Okay, admittedly, I have killed about 200 phalanxes that I'm about to fight to the bloody death. So, could be worth. Anyway... Having been this meticulous, I'll be damned if I just charge in there now. Okay. I suppose it's time to go to the part where everyone dies fucking awfully, right? Let's see how it looks. Because this is going to choose to attack me, it's just a matter of how much I can actually get behind it. All of you should be able to get behind. There we go. And all of this as well should be able to do something useful. Oh my. It just does not want to cooperate with the idea of putting units up here. I believe it is time to do what is known as putting the squeeze on them. Anyway, have fun dying in mass, Astadi. Not having true range units to lure out the phalanxes makes this dramatically harder. And there's a very good argument for always having at least one archer in any army. Because it turns out if you walk up, throw javelins, and walk away, they just don't follow you. And instead you have to do this nightmare. At least it's a very heroic last stand for, you know, these random rebels. Hopefully we don't have another result that bad in the rest of this campaign. I felt like for as hard as I was trying in that, I got literally no good results. But we conquered the city, we got the wonder. 20% reduced construction time on things that take more than 5 turns, of which I've literally never built anything that took that long in this game. And I get scorpions in my capital. What can these do? I don't know what I would use scorpions for. I don't think they can destroy stone walls, so I think this is more for like conquering Gaul than anything else. I was really hoping for elephants, or maybe like something useful in any capacity. So, this city has straight nothing, and I'm gonna need a boat to take me back to get everything retrained again. Because this army is just not doing well, is it? I'll condense what I can and send that on by land. So I have 5 full units of Astadi and 4 units of Equites that can continue onward. And Halicarnassus is apparently very unhappy with all of this. Let's lower the tax rate to sort that out. I will be recruiting a peasant here, because next turn I want to put these on the boat and bring them to Rhodes to get retrained. And I was not expecting that siege to take so long, but let's finish the turn before we finish the video and see what we find. Apparently there's a plague going on in southern Italy. Maybe now isn't a great time to conquer Italy, is it? Pontus is moving its units, but really it looks like it's being vulnerable more than aggressive.
Greetings.
Look, man, I'm gonna need you to pay me at least $3,000 for the privilege of trading with me.
What do you consider?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Thanks.
Dacia, if you want a ceasefire, you're not getting it.
Let us end the bloodshed.
Oh, the AI's really been improved. I've never seen somebody offer to become protectorate before. But no, absolutely fuck that, I'm killing them.
Until next time.
I don't think becoming protectorate counts towards the 50 settlement limit I need to win. Oh, they didn't even sell a fourth. I will exterminate them just out of petty spite. And let's finally go meet Parthia and ask them how they would feel about an alliance. They hate me. Well, in that case, they'll be paying me for the privilege of trading me, like everyone else.
Would you consider?
I'll take the 1,000. Oh, they're asking for my map info. Fine, I don't care. Money is worth something to me. Keeping my map info is not. So, I think I'm just going to leave this next to Parthia. I don't really have a use of this diplomat anymore. Actually, I'll start moving him to the border between Seleucia and Egypt, in case I want to demand ceasefires in the future. Let's accept that candidate for adoption. He wound up in not the city you would want him to be in, to be honest. Gonna have him start moving east. There's a plague in Macedon, which sucks because I've already conquered Macedon. Well, before I end the turn, and in the video, rather, I'm going to put all of this on roads and get it retraining. Again. This has been an ill-fated army. Going to move this around to the other side so I can speed it up when I take them away. But that's it for now. This has been rather incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that it was all, well, mostly just one terrible siege of Halicarnassus. But if you did like the video in spite of that, then please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you around.